I appreciate everybody being here, and obviously we're excited as a program to have the opportunity to represent the West Division for the third time in a row in the American Conference Championship game. This is it's a it's a great honor to our football team, the players that we have. I tell you, this last week was a huge game for us, and we knew going against a great opponent that it was going to be a challenge. There was adversity that showed up throughout the game, but once again, our guys, they rose to the occasion to be able to get it done. We're all very grateful for all of Tiger Nation, the city of Memphis, the home field advantage they created, and for us to have a chance to host the championship game here in Memphis is going to be just a tremendous day, and an event for this city, our program, and obviously all the players that we have. It's a unique week, one in that you're playing the same opponent in back-to-back weekends, and that's something I've never experienced before. But the thing that we learned from the first game is just the talent, the quality of coaching. Just the Cincinnati team is an extraordinary bunch, and it's a team that's won 21 games in the last 2 years. They've got some great players. They did not have their starting quarterback this last game. We are expecting him to be available. Was very impressed with the personnel. In every aspect, in every phase. So we're going to have our hands full. We're going to have to improve and play at a higher level if we want to have a chance to succeed in the game here this Saturday. But we're definitely honored to be able to be a part of it. It's Ritter's one of the more talented quarterbacks you'll see in the country. He's you've seen he got banged up a little bit in the middle of the season and has been battling through that. I was extremely impressed with the young freshman. His arm strength, the throws he was able to make, how he responded to the situation was something that he definitely needs to be commended for. And but you look at this team, they've won 21 games with Desmond Ritter, and he's a talent. He's a talent with his arm, with his legs. I'm sure it was good for his body to get the week off, but we're going to have to prepare. We have to prepare for both. It's part of it until we see him, run out there for the first snap. But I fully expect him to play, and he presents some challenges all on his own. It kind of is what it is. At least we have the experience of going against one of them. But there's a lot of film and a lot of success of what Ritter has done throughout his career. And so we really prepared mostly for him in the last game, and that was a little bit of an adjustment that had to be made throughout the contest. But at the end of the day, whoever steps out there, we have to be prepared for him. It's going to be all the same. The issues that we have, the experiences that we have. They're looking at the same thing, and so there's going to be adjustments that are made in every phase. I think the thing that does, I would say, give you an advantage, but also could be a disadvantage is a little bit more knowledge of the personnel. And the matchups and how those things work, offensively, defensively, and in special teams. There's gonna be more familiarity because we just had the experience of going against them. But the schematic part of it, every game you're gonna have your own game plan, but you're gonna stay true to who you are and which where you think you can attack, things that you expect to see. But come Saturday, there's no guarantee we're gonna see anything that was the same, and so we've got to be prepared for whatever they throw at us. I can promise you, there's every week I get asked that question. Like our focus is on today. Our focus is on the practices that are in front of us, or the preparation. We don't need our football team ready for Saturday until Saturday gets here. It's going to be a building process. If we don't go out there and perform at the highest of our ability and every day this week in our preparation, we won't be successful. So that's all our folks. I can tell you that probably had one of the best Sundays that we've had since I've been here. Our guys are excited about the opportunity to compete in this championship game. It's not something that we've talked about throughout this year, but now that it's here, it's time. And we want to go and do everything we can to put ourselves in the best position to be successful. And if we can do that, then whatever lies after that lies after that. Yeah, I mean, I think when you look, I separate the championship games and the bowl games. Those are two different dynamics. The championship games, they've been extremely competitive. We've actually had a lead in both of them, and we didn't do a good enough job finishing those games. I think a lot of the reasons of why we do what we do and what our approach has been throughout this year is from that experience. And there were times in the game, last year against Central Florida, we got caught, I thought, looking at a clock. And we got, when momentum went against us, we were trying to do everything to try to hold up against it rather than just going out there and focusing on the next play that was before us. And if we can focus on us, every play, continuing to improve, continuing to get better, then we'll put ourselves in the best position to be successful. But those are the two games. I mean, you look at the bowl games. I know it gets brought up a lot. Our first year was the only year since that I've been here that we were in full strength. When you look at staff, you look at players, you look at all the things so the bowl games. We lost the last two. I think by combined 4 points or whatever that is. But those are separate entities in themselves. I look at the championship games and what do we have to do to be successful in this game, and really a lot of those experiences would have built towards how we prepare this year. It was a little bit of all. I mean, those guys did a great job. I mean, the tight ends and extraordinary player. He was creating separation. He's big. He's strong. He's got great quickness in and out of his breaks. Bryant can make all the throws. He's sideline to sideline. Throwing on time. We had to get pressure on him. We had to make him uncomfortable. We were able to do that a little bit there in the second half. But and he still made plays. We had a couple of coverage busts that allowed for big plays to occur. That has to get corrected. I mean, we came out of the game last Saturday, and we knew that there's a lot of things that we have to correct. And it's no secret within our team. Some of those things Cincinnati forced upon us. But that's what happens when you play a top 20 team, and they're definitely that. I really don't. I think our guys, they know what's in front of us, and they know what it takes. We've got 2 years of experience of being in a game of this magnitude, and we've had a young team. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are on this team now that have lived through those experiences once, or if not both times, and so. We've got to make sure that we prepare at an elite level, and then it's going to be a consistent 60-minute battle where every play is going to count, every moment, every reaction, adjustment by coaches, all of it gets magnified in a game of this of this caliber. And so I'm excited. I'm excited for another opportunity to compete in it. I know it's going to once again be on an unbelievable stage. To sit back and think that this is going to be our 4th national broadcast on ABC at the Liberty Bowl. I would challenge to know what programs in the country have had that type of exposure at home. So with that, for our football team, our players, our program, I always emphasize the city. Well, Memphis, you get another opportunity. We've shown as well as we ever have there against SMU a few weeks ago, and it was a special moment. This is just as big, if not bigger. For our team and what we're trying to accomplish, and so we need all hands on deck, all support. We need an unbelievable home field advantage because that really provides our guys with the extra energy, focus, all those things that go into a college football game, creating that atmosphere. I mean, it means everything. You set out, you want to be champions in all that you do. And you can't be a champion at the end of the year if you're not willing to do it at the beginning of the year. And so it's been a part of our process of growth, of improvement. This is not our first trip to this game. We need to be better than what we've been in this game. And so our guys have always played hard. I mean, you look at the last 2 times we played in the conference championship games, probably 2 of the most exciting football games you'll ever see. And this year I expect a very similar type contest, against a great opponent. So for us to be able to continue to grow, continue to progress, it's going to mean everything. Yeah, to think that 4 guys are starting at new positions. There's been challenges. There's been great competition. There's been correction, continued development. It's been a critical factor for us to put ourselves in this position. Is just what those guys have done up front. Coach Norvell, I think, is one of the best in the country. He's done a remarkable job. We try to make sure that things we're doing schematically are putting those guys in the best position to showcase their skills and talents, and and they've responded. And they're going to have to play at a very high level against one of the best defensive fronts that we've played against. And there were plays in the game there last Friday where we're going to have to get better. We're going to have to play a cleaner game up on the offensive front, but everybody's involved in that. What's that? No, TJ's gonna be out. Most likely, depending on how everything comes. I mean, he'll be out for the rest of the year, and it's unfortunate. TJ's a phenomenal player. He's a young man that is a competitor in every aspect. This will be, I think, the first time that he's missed a game in his career. One of the few times he'll ever miss a play. I mean, he's out there in every opportunity that he can. But with him going down, it just provides a new opportunity for somebody else to step up, and that's part of the game. It's unfortunate that you see it happen, but I know TJ will do everything in his power to be back to full strength as quick as possible. I mean, we talk about this being a program that's built for playmakers, and Preston Brady is a playmaker. Everybody watches the job that he does, and nobody ever appreciates what the holder does. But man, he's done an incredible job throughout this year for Riley, and obviously putting him in the best position to make the kicks that when he takes the field. But also, Preston's also converted on a 2-point play. He's had a game sealing onside recovery. I mean, those are things that we're going to take the best of the best in what we have and put those guys in a position to be able to showcase that. And I think Preston has done a remarkable job throughout this year doing his job, and then even going above and beyond in other areas. We'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But we definitely need Chris to play at a high level. There at corner, and Jacoby Francis, and I think you'll see a variety of guys that will go in. I know John Broussard played a little bit more. Joey Bryant, guys that have all played good football throughout the year. But everybody's game's got to step up a little bit. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what how everything plays out in the game. Number count, all those things we look at. He did play more snaps defensively than what we thought, and so everything ties off of each other. Never is a long time, but it's probably pushing pretty close. Coxey, he's done an exceptional job, but I think that to see his growth and what he's done throughout this year, especially kind of that midway point. I mean, he's really elevated his game to an elite level. We need him to play at an elite level again here this week, and if it means throwing it to him, handing it to him, whatever we got to do to help our football team be impacted by his skill set, we'll probably look at. Yeah, I mean, probably more likely a bowl than Javon Ivory is one. Taj Washington still has one more game. Um, probably some guys that might be able to show up, and where Dallas Ducksworth is one that has played throughout the year a couple games, and he could show up. But really beyond that, it might be a couple guys in the bowl game that we would look at. It's part of success, I would say, and I'm grateful to be a part of a program that has continued to grow, and the national brand of what we're doing, players, coaches, everybody involved. It is a compliment that people think well of our program. But my focus this week is about this game. I mean, we're absolutely excited about the opportunity to compete for a championship, and those things. When you sit back and you think about it, coming into this year, I think there were 3 teams in the history of college football that have won their division 3 straight times. For us to be in that group, I mean, that's remarkable. And so we have unfinished business of what we want to accomplish, and it's a big week for us. And like I told our players, you got to block out the noise. You got to. I mean, there's a lot of things that are always said that are the accuracy of what's reported sometimes. No offense, is not always on point. But we're excited that people think well of our program nationally, and all our focus is on this week. I've got a lot of unanswered text messages. I can promise you that. Say that one more time. Recruiting great players and recruiting great coaches. We try to set a standard each and every day of improvement, and we've had some unbelievable young men that have come and believed in the culture that we look to establish. I try to put our guys in the best position to achieve success in all that they do. And my job is to develop players, to develop coaches, to represent this city, to represent the university in the best way that I can. There's been times that we've come up short and come up short in games. There's times that we've achieved great things that have never happened here before. We're proud, and you'll appreciate the process of what it takes to get to that, and we're still pushing. And I can tell you that's going to be our focus this week, is just to be better. And if every person, a part of this program, can improve, we'll give ourselves an opportunity to achieve success come Saturday. Since the first week when I got the job here, the very first official visit I ever had, true story. I'm sitting in my office, and a young man goes, "Coach, I love everything you're telling me, but how long are you going to be here?" I said, "I just got here a week ago." And so that is always going to be a part of the questions, the speculation, all those things. I can tell you that I've got one of the best jobs in the country, and it's something that over the years there's been speculation on what else is out there, what could be, what would be, but this is a wonderful place, and I'm honored to represent it. I'm honored to be able to go to work with these guys each and every day, and that's where we are. That's a good question. Yes, we did, because that first group, we didn't have enough time to bring in a whole bunch of them. It was we had that first week, and I'll never forget. We came out to bowl practice, got to see it, and then ended up signing 5 or 6 of the players that came in that first weekend. And you look back, and you have Riley Ferguson, Daryl Henderson, Jonathan Cook, a couple of offensive linemen up front that all impacted, and it was a special start, and it's great to see how even the decision those guys made at the beginning, how that has helped impact our success here, 4 years down the road. And we're working hard to make all of them proud. Thank you.